Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Borussia Dortmund believe Jadon Sancho to Manchester United could be done by the end of the week. Fabrizio Romano said Manchester United contacted Jadon Sancho's camp over the weekend. He also said Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund are confident that a deal for Jadon Sancho will happen. Manchester United are locked in negotiations with Borussia Dortmund over a fee. Borussia Dortmund want a fee of 77.5 million plus add-ons. Now, Manchester United have agreed the personal terms with Sancho, and a 5-year contract has been agreed, worth around £350,000 a week. We had an opening offer of £67 million rejected for Sancho. Jadon Sancho has a gentleman's agreement with Borussia Dortmund to join Manchester United. Borussia Dortmund have lowered their asking price from what they was demanding last summer. Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close. You know, the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because Dortmund were demanding 108 million and we was reluctant to meet their 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. But there's always been something in Jadon Sancho to Manchester United because it has been stemming from reliable journalists. You know, Fabrizio Romano's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too was Christian Falk from Bild. We've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so it has been a long-running transfer saga. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he'll fit in our team perfectly. He's predominantly a right winger, and Man United need a right winger. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League, he'll assure his goals. And he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. They do touch base with each other a lot. So they are the reasons. Sancho has endured 4 years at Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million to him from Man City. And he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. But yeah, Sancho is confident that he will secure a transfer to Man United. He says if we fail to sign Sancho, we will look to make a move for Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, you know, as an alternative. Borussia Dortmund have identified Daniel Malin as a replacement for Sancho. Plays for PSV. Manchester United need more than Jadon Sancho. There's a lot of players we are linked with. Manchester United could sign Kieran Trippier in this summer transfer window. Atletico Madrid have set their asking price for Kieran Trippier. It's £30 million. Kieran Trippier has a release clause of around £35 million. Football Insider recently said that we had a £10 million bid rejected for Kieran Trippier by Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone has no intentions of letting Trippier leave in this summer transfer window. Now, the other week, Kieran Trippier told his England teammates that he wants to join Manchester United this summer, and the player has been house hunting, so reflecting on that, that's fueled speculation. Hasn't it? Now, we was in for Kieran Trippier in the January transfer window, but we cooled our interest because Kieran Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. The reason we're looking at Trippier is because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. Wan-Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at Man United at the moment, so we need someone to come in to provide competition for him. Kieran Trippier's current contract at Atletico expires next year. Atletico paid £20 million for him from Tottenham. He's highly experienced. He is the age of 30. This morning I gave you the news on Ruben Neves from Wolves. Manchester United have been interested in Ruben Neves for quite some time. 90 Min have said we are still interested in him. He will cost us around 35 to 40 million pounds, which is a bargain. Ruben Neves has got like 2 years left on his current contract at Wolves. He's been at Wolves for 4 seasons. He's made 176 appearances in all competitions and he's scored 20 goals. Wolves paid £15.8 million for him from Porto, and I think he's the age of 24. Raphael Varane, he's been linked with a move to Manchester United. It said the other week that Man United offered Raphael Varane a salary that Real Madrid cannot match. It's €12 million a year, which equates to just over 10 million in pounds sterling. Varane has been refusing a contract at Real Madrid. Romano said that not so long ago. Mundo Deportivo said not so long ago that Real Madrid lowered their asking price for Raphael Varane. Real Madrid will accept around £43 million. I can assure Raphael Varane is leaving Real Madrid. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. His current contract expires next year. Now, before the Euros, Varane spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships, and Man United have held talks with Raphael Varane's representatives. At one point, Real Madrid were demanding £60 million. Towards the end of last season, they rejected a £40 million bid. But he'd be a great addition to our squad if he came in, because Varane and Harry Maguire would complement each other very, very well in our back line. You know, Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. So yeah, And he's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them over 10 years now. Got a great pedigree as a player. He's won like 18 major honours. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. And you obviously know the news on Harry Kane. You know, obviously Harry Kane wants to leave Tottenham. Where will he be playing next season? Solskjaer has already decided on his transfer targets. The Manchester Evening News said yesterday that Solskjaer wants 4 signings. I'm convinced we can challenge for the Premier League title next season, providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. Now, the other week, Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget, and our board are backing Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings despite the Europa League final loss. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager, and he is aware of how big the summer transfer window is for himself and Manchester United in general, because it's very imperative he gets the players he wants to recommend in. So obviously we want a striker, we want a right winger, we want a right back, and we also want a centre half. And I think we want a defensive midfielder. We are going to offload players in this summer transfer window, so reflecting on that, our transfer budget will increase. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because next season I think Solskjaer must win a trophy to remain Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. You know, next season will be Solskjaer's 3rd full season, because at the moment he's endured 2 full seasons, and last season wasn't a successful season for Man United, and Solskjaer accepted that. You know, Solskjaer's been in charge of Manchester United for almost 30 months, which is over 2 years. I can assure he isn't the long-term manager for Manchester United. And I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But I think he does deserve next season. Obviously, there is some Man United fans that are Solskjaer out, especially losing the Europa League final to Villarreal. But there was United fans that were Ole out prior to the final. But I presume there's still quite a lot of United fans that are Ole in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. Ole has just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. I think it's a mistake giving him this new 3-year deal, because he isn't going to see this new 3-year deal out. Like I've said to you before, I do have my concerns about Ole. But there's also quite a lot of things I've got to credit him for. You know, I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, and I am shocked in that aspect. So he does deserve credit for that. You've got to say he's done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. When Solskjaer got appointed in, he knew he had to do a lot. You know, since Solskjaer's come in, you know, he has made some good signings. Solskjaer has spent almost £300 million at the moment. You know, the players he's brought in, obviously brought Daniel James in, brought Wan-Bissaka in, brought Harry Maguire in. That was in the summer of 2019. In January 2020, brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. And summer of 2020 brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo Traore and Facundo Palestri. And obviously, in this summer transfer window, Tom Heaton's incoming and Jadon Sancho's incoming. And he's brought quite a few young players in as well. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. We recently released 8 players. 6 of them were academy players. Can't remember all their names, but we did recently release Sergio Romero and we also released Joel Pereira. In January, obviously Rojo left, Timothy Foster-Mensah left, Odi Nagalo left, Jesse Lingard went out on loan, Teden Menge went out on loan. And the other transfer windows Ollie's enjoyed, we've seen a lot of other players leave as well. Obviously, we've seen the likes of Ashley Young leave, Valencia leave, and they were 2 long-serving players at Man United. We saw Chris Smalling leave. He was also a long-serving player at the club. Seen Darmian leave, seen Fellaini leave, seen Herrera leave, seen Lukaku leave, seen Sanchez leave, seen Angel Gomez leave. Facundo Palestri, we loaned him out, I think. Yeah, we did. Loaned Dylan Levitt out at one point. We loaned Tahith Chon out as well. Loaned Dishan Burned out as well, didn't we? So there you go. There are a lot of the players that have left. Solskjaer did quite well in his first full season at Man United. He got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a 3rd place finish. Did well in a lot of aspects in his second full season, which was last season. Got us to the Europa League final. I know we lost the final, but he still got us to the final. So he does deserve credit for that. He was his first major final as Man United manager. Last season got us a 2nd place finish. Wasn't an achievement, but you can see progress was made from Ollie's first full season. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, which is a record. Got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Another thing I've got to credit Solskjaer for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody has been given their chances. We've enjoyed very good periods under Ollie where we have seen consistency. So they are, a lot of the positives. I'd say Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. We appointed him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Given the job permanently in March 2019, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. Because in that 3-month period is when he was the interim manager, he won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. But he knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. But the reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding him being a club legend, I can assure he wouldn't have been here now. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde. Enjoyed 2 spells at Molde. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff. And his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He only enjoyed a short tenure with Cardiff. But reflecting now on Solskjaer's been with us, he has gained some managerial experience. Ollie is inheriting players from other managerial eras. Ollie is our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson retired. You know, the three managers we've sacked since Ferguson retired was Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we also sacked Jose Mourinho. We're not even really known as a sacking football club. Our recruitment's been poor for a long time. We've overpaid for players in recent years, and in that aspect, the blame stems from the board. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. And we've brought around 30 odd players in since Ferguson retired, and we've spent over £1 billion on them. Not so long ago, Joe Glazer went to a fans forum. His first attendance in like 15, 16 years, and obviously he's promised to give the manager financial backing. Because obviously towards the end of last season, there was a lot of Man United fans that were protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years or so now. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. You know, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. Woodward, obviously we know he's standing down at the end of the year because it got announced earlier on this year that he resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. I presume all United fans were happy with the news regarding Woodward because he's been one of the biggest problems for a while. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. You obviously know the news regarding Anthony Martial. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has put Martial up for sale because he's fed up of his poor attitude. He's no longer good enough to represent the club. Martial's had 2 good seasons, I'd say, at Man United. He was good the season before last, and he was good in his debut season under Van Gaal. Duncan Castles recently said that Martial has been offered to Real Madrid. Martial's agent is looking to move his client away from the club. A season-long loan with an option to buy has been proposed. Anthony Martial's been at Man United 6 years. He's got a contract with the club until 2024. There's also an option of a further year. Martial scored 78 goals in 258 appearances in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth £58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Martial was out with a knee injury last season for quite a long time. At one point, Solskjaer did give him that number 9 shirt. Just want to give you some news on Juan Mata. Manchester United have offered Juan Mata a 1-year contract with a wage reduction from his last contract. I think we should actually offload Juan Mata in this summer transfer window. Juan Mata's current contract expires at the end of this month. Mike McGrath from The Telegraph, though, said not so long ago that Juan Mata was in talks over an extension on his contract. Juan Mata doesn't really get in our 11 now, and my element of concern about him, he's lost that yard of pace and he's ageing up. Mata's been at Manchester United for 7 years now. being a long servant, we got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014, and at the first part of last season he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Donny van de Beek. Yeah, obviously know the news on him. Reports were coming out yesterday saying that Arsenal have made contact with Man United over the possibility of signing Donny van de Beek. Arsenal are in search for a central midfielder because Martin Odegaard and Dani Ceballos have returned to Real Madrid and Granit Xhaka has agreed to join Roma. Man United and Arsenal have done business with each other before. Donny van de Beek has only endured one full season at Man United. You know, Donny van de Beek has made 36 appearances for us in all competitions. Most of them appearances have come from the bench. I recall him starting 4 games in the league last season. Said not so long ago though that Donny van de Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future, but it said towards the end of last season that we will reject any offers for Donny van de Beek. To reflect on that, we are reluctant to let him go. And he did get ruled out of the Euros through injury. You know, we got Donny van de Beek last year from Ajax in a deal worth £40 million. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Paul Pogba. There's a chance he'll stay for next season. Paul Pogba insists that he's not in contract negotiations with Man United over a new contract, but Sky Sports News said the other day that Man United opened talks with Paul Pogba's representatives over a new contract. We fear losing Paul Pogba on a free transfer. We fear that he's running down his contract to leave on a free. You know, Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Solskjaer's come out and said that he hopes Pogba stays and signs a new contract. Towards the end of last season, it said that we was willing to offer Pogba a new £400,000 a week contract, but Pogba was demanding in the excess of £500,000 a week. But it actually said, you know, we could lose Paul Pogba in this summer transfer window if Ronaldo leaves Juventus. There's been talks of a Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba swap deal. Juventus will obviously have to offload Ronaldo to afford Paul Pogba. There's been a lot of talks of Ronaldo making a sensational return to Man United. I presume a lot of United fans would take Ronaldo back. You obviously know the news on David De Gea, don't you? You know, he's good chance now he's going to be staying for next season because De Gea recently came out and said that he's convinced he'll stay at Manchester United and be Solskjaer's number 1 next season. Some United fans prefer De Gea over Dean Henderson, but I think we should sell De Gea in this summer transfer window because I reckon now he's had his years at Manchester United. Now, apparently, there's rumours of Dean Henderson leaving. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.